see you again. How are you? Feeling creative? You better be, because this is what's coming up. How about using old magazines to really bring a picture to life? Plus, a really unusual way to light the place up. And how about giving your pictures an oriental feel? Okay, take a look at these funny faces. Weird, aren't they? Look at that. That one's quite scary. And this one is just plain bonkers. And can you guess how they were made? In 4 easy stages. A 4-part attack. For the first part, you need to make some dough. Now for this, you're going to need 2 cups of plain flour, 1 cup of salt, and 1 cup of water, and pour them all into a bowl. Then, the messy bit. Using your hands, knead the mixture together. Now this may take a little while, but you should end up with a sticky ball. Now, if your mixture is too dry, add a little more water, and if it's too wet, add a little more flour. Then put about 1/3 of your mixture to one side for the moment, about that much, and then just roll this bit up again. And now it's time to get tossing. Place a piece of card or newspaper down to protect your work surface, then stand above the card and throw the ball of dough so that it lands with a splat. Then squish it down with the palm of your hand into a flattish splat shape. And I promise you, that is great fun to do. Very satisfying. And if you're not happy the first time, just scoop it up and do it again. Now you need to turn the splat into a face, and for that you're going to need the dough that you saved earlier. Start to mould your face by poking 2 holes where the eyes will be, and 1 for the mouth. And you can even pull up a nose. Then make details with your leftover dough like eyeballs, and sausage shapes for eyebrows, and lips. And just mould and sculpt with your fingers, making crazy expressions and funny shapes. There's the ears. And you can even use a pencil for the dots in the eyes and the nostrils. And then you can pull it, twist it, squeeze it and tweak it into any expression you want. And when you're happy with your funny face, you need to dry it. Now, you're going to need to get some help with this because the best way to dry it is to bake it in the oven at a very low heat. Gas mark 1 or 50 degrees centigrade for a few hours until it's gone hard. So look, do me a favour. Make sure you get permission, or better still, do what I always do. Get someone else to do it for you. Then, after you've left it to cool for a bit, it'll be rock hard, like this, and now you can paint it however you like. Let's make it silly. How's about blue for the face? Now, acrylic paint is good for this, but you could use poster paint if you want to. But you don't have to be realistic with your colours, as it all adds to the crazy effect. How about metallic red for the lips? And silver for the eyes and eyebrows. And when you've painted the whole thing and it's dry, give it a coat of PVA glue. Just slop it on all over, making sure you get into all of those nooks and crannies. Now, don't worry, because when the PVA glue is dry, it goes clear and not only gives your face a shiny, varnished effect, it really strengthens it as well. And you can do all sorts of faces this way. How's about this? Look at that. That's a real grumpy old man. And the way I did this was I just pulled all the features down with my fingers. Look at that. Scary, isn't he? And look at this one. I really like this one. This reminds me of my old art teacher. I just tweaked his beard and made some rolls for his eyebrows. Look at that. You'll never make an artist, Buchanan. And how about this? This is sort of a pixie effect. I just pull the ears right out on that one and tweaked his nose as well. Fantastic, eh? Great fun to do as well. Try it yourself. Splat some dough and make dough splat faces. So there I was, out in the fresh air, doing something I really enjoy. This is cool. But you didn't really think it was me doing all that, did you? No, this is the stuff I like to do. See if you can guess what this big art attack is. Here's a great way of doing a very delicate Chinese style painting. Now, most Chinese paintings were done using special inks and pigments on rice paper. Well, I'm using an ordinary set of watercolour paints, and instead of rice paper to give my picture a delicate quality, I'm going to use ordinary tracing paper. Now, when painting on tracing paper, don't use too much water. Even though you're using watercolour paint, you want your brush to be fairly dry, because you don't want to buckle your paper too much. I'm just going to flick that off, and I'm just going to start with black. And lots of Chinese paintings feature landscapes, flowers, trees, and even animals. So I'm going to start with this tree, and because the brush is quite dry, I'm almost having to scrub the paint on. Now, you don't have to be too perfect. The picture should be light and wispy. I'm going to put some blossom on the tree, so I need some pink again, not too much water. I'm almost just dabbing the paint on, and the tracing paper does all the work for me, makes it nice and wispy. And how about a butterfly flitting around the blossom? Again, not too much water. I think an orange butterfly for this. There we go. when you've put in all your basic bits, just leave it to dry. Now, this shouldn't take too long, as I haven't used too much water at all. It's all right. Now I'm going to use a smaller brush to add on some tiny bits of detail. Again, not too wet. I'm just going to use the point of the brush, a bit of black, to create some wispy branches here. They're very light and wispy. Let the paper and the brush do the work. And I'm just going to put some dots in the middle of the flowers. And finally, add a little bit of detail on the butterfly as well. And there it is, very authentic. An authentic old traditional Chinese painting. And it even looks like it's on rice paper. And you could try different paintings on tracing paper if you want. How's about this bird on bamboo? Very delicate. And look at this traditional landscape. Very old and authentic. But don't forget to keep your brush quite dry because you don't want too many wrinkles. Try it yourself, a Chinese-style painting on tracing paper. You know what? It amazes me how many different types of artists there are, all having different sorts of art attacks. Hey, here's a really clever one for you. Look at that. See that, eh? Look at that. What is it? It's a smile. See that? It makes me smile a lot, you know. What am I talking about? Your art attacks. And there's loads of them in the Art Attack Gallery. They make me smile. And now this is a stunning drawing by Emily, and it's done in one of my favourite art materials, wax crayons. See, you don't need expensive art materials to create brilliant art attacks. And look at this one. Joe has really gone to town with this design. I think it shows just how creative you can be with your computer when you put your mind to it. And I love Sam's painting. There's just so much to look at. And what a great paint effect he's used for the watery background. It looks like you are underwater. And this African batik style painting by Varian is fantastic. I really love the simple design and vibrant colours which make it look very authentic. And Rebecca's montage of different faces is very creative. I don't know which bit to look at first. Check out the way all the faces sort of merge together. Brilliant. Yeah, great art attack, Rebecca. And very clever use of cut-out pictures from a magazine. Now, I really like the way the two styles mix, the real photo and your own drawing or painting. It makes a really ordinary picture a lot more interesting. Well, I've been having a go at that. Check this out. First, paint an ordinary picture. Now, I've done this watercolour of the side of a building, and you can't get any more ordinary than that, can you? Just a boring old brick wall with a door in it. But then, you need to collect together lots of scraps from magazines, cut out any little pictures or bits of text that you like the look of, then use them to make your picture more interesting. Start by gluing some of the pictures to your wall. Then when you've done that, leave them to dry and carefully pick at the corners and tear them partly off. You don't have to be neat with this. Then layer more magazine posters over the top and add on bits of writing to make them look more like posters. And the bits of magazine start to look like old posters that have been stuck on the wall over the years and then torn down. And just keep adding on layers one on top of the other, stick them down, and you could even use bits of newspaper as well. Odd words here and there, or even torn paragraphs of newspaper print. It all adds to the poster effect, and there's no need to be neat. Just get your bit of poster, tear it, and then stick it on. And just keep layering your scraps of magazine in this way. You can even leave some corners unglued. And the great thing is, you don't have to be neat. Just keep tearing away and folding those corners. And when you finish designing your scrap magazine posters and putting one on top of the other, your ordinary boring painted wall looks like a real cool alley wall that's had posters stuck all over it for years. Look at that. And I think it's got loads of character and it looks really lifelike. And you can use magazine pictures to liven up all sorts of pictures. How about this gallery of cartoon frames with magazine collage paintings, or this picture of an artist painting a picture, and that's a magazine picture. And check out this drawing of a window with a fantastic magazine view. Good day. Do an ordinary painting or drawing and mix it by cutting out magazine pictures and have a go at making a mini poster wall. Try it yourself.
There you have it. Try it yourself. If you want, try a Greenbelt Adventure mission. We've got 5 brand new fall missions. All right, don't get me wrong. I love the host of Art Attack. I also love the way he sounds. He's so cool and creative. All right, Greenbelt Adventure Contest. We've got 5 fall missions for you guys to get in on doing. One of my favorite ones is actually the